Hi, I'm Simon Berman. I'm the Community Coordinator and Staff Writer at Privateer Press, and we're here at the second and last Steamroller tournament for staff players at Privateer for 2012. I'm here with David D.C. Carl, Development Management?
Development Manager, yes.
And D.C. is the winner of our last tournament, which means he has the singular honor of running this one. Today we're going to be running the beta of Steamroller 2013 rules for the staff, and D.C., you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I had a lot of fun at the last tournament, being able to try out the new scenarios and updated scenarios from previous years. Played a lot of great opponents and had a good time. So when we got to the end of the event and I heard about the upcoming staff Steamroller, I agreed to be the judge this time around, and I'm looking forward to testing out some of the scenarios that have been changed a little bit during the process. We've done a lot of testing on these scenarios and have groups around the world checking them out and trying to make sure that the system for next year's organized play is as good and as positive an experience as it can possibly be. So hopefully we'll get some great feedback, we'll get some great games, and we'll have to crown a new winner.
Right on. Anything in particular you're excited to see today?
Well, there's a lot of folks playing different armies than they played last time, so I'm expecting a real shake-up, and being able to see people trying new things is always exciting in War Machine and Hordes.
Awesome. Well, we'll be back throughout the day with coverage on our forums and on our front page, and with some more video interviews of other staff players as the day goes on. And we're back at the Staff Steamroller tournament here at Privateer Press headquarters. First round is beginning to end. First game to end of the day was Will Hungerford. Why don't you tell us about your match? Will is our quartermaster, of course, and events coordinator.
So first round was against Eric and his Legion force.
What are you playing?
I'm playing Circle Ouroboros. I brought Balder 1 and Kruger 2.
Strong choice.
So I saw that his two lists were Rias and Thagrosh 2. And I decided, after seeing the scenario was close quarters, I wanted to try to go for a scenario win. So I picked Kruger 2, who, with telekinesis and all his feat and the different abilities, I felt I had a pretty good chance. And that's what ended up happening. I didn't do the assassination. I won off scenario, scoring 6 control points by dominating the enemy flag. Once on my turn, then Eric did a great job of stopping me. But the things that he ran up to contest, I was able to sort of get out of the way, and then dominate again on my turn, and score the victory. And Eric had an awesome list. It's Thagrosh and just a ton of heavy beasts. I was really worried because I had Thagrosh on his side. I had Kruger on his side of the board, hoping I wouldn't die. And I managed to
Clearly that worked out for you.
Clearly it worked out, but barely.
So how are you feeling moving into round 2?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I've been testing those lists at some of the local stores and just playing with other people lately. And I like both of them. I feel very, very comfortable with them. And so I'm hoping to go all the way.
Cool. Well, we'll be watching you closely.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back soon. So we're looking at some more players at the end of as round 1 begins to wrap up for the Privateer Press Steamroller 2013 beta. We're here with Eric. Eric, what do you do at Privateer?
I work in mold making.
Right on.
Layups and such.
So you're here on Saturday playing in the staff tournament, and how was your first round?
Well, it went unfortunately. I hoped I could sort of overwhelm Will's Circle army.
You were playing Will Hungerford?
I was. Unfortunately, E. Kruger's telekinesis and feat, which pushes you around and lowers your speed in a flag grab game, proved a little too much for my low model count army to...
Sure, you went beast heavy, right?
I did. I went 4 heavies, a shepherd, and Thagrosh.
Right on. So any good moments in the game, or? He seemed to think it was a little close.
First turn, I wanted to lure out one of his 2 heavies to make a trade, because I could attrition it enough that I knew it would probably be more beneficial for me in the long run.
Sure.
But it wasn't the power of his army that proved to be the problem, it was just the ability to keep me where he wanted me to be.
Right on. You having fun?
Yeah, I intend to do my best and maybe get second somehow.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you, and we will be back with more updates soon. Round 1 is over at the Steamroller 2013 Beta Staff Tournament, and we're here with TO David D.C. Carl again, who's going to talk to us a little bit about it. So how are things shaping up at the end of round 1? I'm sure it's a little early, but anything noteworthy?
Yeah, I mean, it's still early in the event, but already we've seen a lot of interesting things happen. We've seen some upsets, some scenario wins, some assassination wins. In 2 different games, we actually saw players win by sacrificing their own Titans. 2 Scorn players. One used the Essence Blast spell, and the other used the Last Stand spell. But in both cases, using that resource, that valuable resource, to get the final piece of winning the game and defeating their opponent. So pretty neat. We also saw a Khadoran mechanic take out Eris, which you don't see every day.
No, that's new. I like that the Scorn took out their own Titans on. It seems really thematic to me. It's kind of cool when you have moments like that in the game.
Yeah, and I think those happen a lot.
Yeah.
We saw some trolls regenerating like crazy in one game, whelps popping out anywhere, and then their health going back up nearly to full on the next turn.
Sure.
A game with 2 conquests, just pounding the opponent army with that heavy Khadoran artillery and armor.
Right on.
So, yeah, a lot of it really fits in with the themes that we see in War Machine and Hordes and the stories that we tell.
Sure, that's great. Well, round 1 has been updated to our website. You can on our forums, Facebook, Twitter, find all the round 1 standings. And we're going to get ready to move into round 2, and we'll be back with more video and coverage throughout the day. We're back at the Staff Steamroller. Steamroller 2013 beta for the Privateer Press employees. We're here with Michael Plummer, who's our new events coordinator. Michael just started at Privateer very recently, but he is no stranger to the tournament scene. So, Michael, how's it going for you today?
You know, I'm having a really good day so far. I'm pulling out a couple W's with Retribution of Syra, hoping my luck keeps up. I've played my Kilissa twice, and it's brought me a lot of success so far.
Cool. So, who'd you play in your last round?
This last round I played against Johan and his Scorn. He pulled out Morgul 2 against me, so naturally I picked my Kilissa because she has True Sight. And it was a game about dice. There was a lot of missing by 1, leaving casters on 1 hit point. It was a mess, but I ended up pulling out the auto win with the Phoenix Combust.
That'll do it for you.
Yeah.
So any lessons learned, anything you would have done differently?
Leave some focus on my Warcaster.
Okay.
You're not always safe when they have Flashing Blade.
That does seem to be the rumor. But
Yeah,
you're having a
that's
fun
what they
day today. How's your first staff tournament?
You know, I'm having a great time, having a lot of fun playing with everybody. Steamroller 2013 is absolutely sweet. I love all the changes. So
Great to hear.
It's going to be good.
Cool, yeah, we're excited to put it out into the world.
Me too.
Which is coming up not too long from now. So thanks again, Michael. And how many victories do you have so far?
So far I have 2. I've gone 2-0, so hoping to pull out 2 more.
You're another undefeated going into round 3?
Hoping, yeah,
Awesome.
hoping to go all the way.
So we will definitely be keeping a close eye on you.
Awesome.
Cool, thanks, Michael. And we'll be back soon. And round 2 is continuing to wrap up at the Privateer Press Staff Steamroller 2013 beta. We're here with Brian McLaughlin this turn, who's one of our players in round 2. You want to tell us a little bit about your game, and what do you do at Privateer Press? Actually?
I'm a Metalcaster way in the back there,
right on.
Making all the minis that everybody gets to enjoy.
Nice.
Round 2, I ended up choosing my Fiora 1 list with Protector of Menoth, and for the
Is
second
that the list with the Adjudicator?
Yeah, it got Adjudicator, Vessel of Judgment, Choir, and your standard support staff. The whole point of this list is just bring the fire, throwing out walls of fire to cover Fiora as she's walking up, blazing effigy on that massive area of the huge base. I was ending up facing Jack's trolls, and it was the second round in a row where I was facing another troll list.
Oh yeah. Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, it was bad.
Bad, yeah.
It was so bad. My first round, I chose Resnick as my list.
Sure.
Second round, I'm like, well, let's try the other one, see what it does. Maybe I can turn this around a little bit. And turn 2, just with the extreme threat range of Doomshaper.
Sure.
I pretty much got stuck with, okay, if I don't do anything this round, I've got 3 angry trolls charging my Judicator, and that's going to leave me with nothing for the attrition war. So I decided to play a little bit of a gamble, move things up to try and block up his trolls as best as I could, and then charge one of his bombers with Fiora under Engine of Destruction. One rounded the troll, like just all by herself.
Nice.
And she had 2 focus left over to sit on. And, you know, I was feeling pretty good, and I've survived tougher things with that.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I forgot that Doomshaper had wild aggression, so...
That's a problem.
Angry Earthborn comes rolling up into me, and that was the game.
That was too bad. But
Yep.
are you having fun? Are you having fun today, or enjoying the tournament?
It's always a blast when we have the tournaments.
Awesome.
It's so much fun. Everybody's so cool with the rules, and, like, it's a really fast game, too.
Right on. Yeah, we've got a good crew here. All right, well, thanks a lot, Brian.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
Good luck as you continue to play.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back later with more staff interviews and a round 2 update with David D.C. Carl at the end of the round. And as round 2 wraps up, again, we're with yet another one of our players, Will Schick, who has been rocking a Trollbloods list today.
That's right, rocking, making snacks out of all kinds of Warcasters.
Yeah, so we just talked to Lyle Lowry, who was your opponent in this
Was
round.
he crying?
He was not actually crying. I could see he was holding it back, but...
He's kind of strong. It's also hard to tell behind the glasses, you know. I think they were misting up when we were playing.
So how do you feel about that game?
You know, honestly, I started the game feeling a little trepidatious. I mean, Lyle's list is like no frills, 2 conquests, the Butcher, a couple of support models. And so he put that on the table. I'm like, oh Lord, what am I gonna do?
What are you playing?
I had Doom Shaper 2, so Rage of Dunia. Had a Mountain King and Mauler in his battle group, and then I had a full unit of Creel Warriors and the Stone Scribes. Stone Scribes. You know, pretty typical hard-hitting Doom Shaper list. So I had the speed advantage on him, but you know, 2 conquests, there's a lot of durability there.
Absolutely.
So I actually wasted about 3 minutes just talking to him about his turn. Like, I don't really know what I'm going to do on the second round because we'd moved into position, and I decided that I was just going to go for the strike. And I figured if I could take out one of the conquests on my turn, I'd be in a decent position to maybe score some points and hold them on scenario.
What was the scenario?
The scenario was sacrifice.
Okay.
So there's a zone over here and there's a flag here, and to score points, you basically have to take damage to your models that are in base to base with the flag, and so that's the only way to score. So in that way, I had an advantage as well because I had the numbers advantage, right? I could take those hits, whereas Lau really couldn't. So you know, I'm looking at the table. I did the stuff I needed to with Doom Shaper, moved him up, measured my control range, and realized that Lau had actually moved the Butcher into charge range of the Mountain King. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I got to take it. Mountain King charges in for free with Wild Aggression. Just proceeds to pummel the Butcher as best he can. Unfortunately, I forgot that Lau had the dog in play, the little war dog. So the Butcher had a pretty good defense. Thankfully, Wild Aggression, the boosted attack rolls, made the difference, and I was able to turn the Butcher into a nice little snack, which was a lot of fun.
Rock on. So you're moving into round 3 undefeated?
Moving into round 3 undefeated so far, so I'm really excited to see who the competition is going to be next. We've got a lot of pretty fun games, and it's pretty tight down there. So good times.
All right, well, we'll be watching you closely as well. So,
thank you much.
See you later. We'll be back soon. Round 2 of the Privateer Press Staff Steamroller 2013 Beta Tournament is over, and we're here with tournament organizer DC again. It's been a pretty exciting tournament so far. We got a couple of undefeated players moving ahead. We talked to Michael Plummer and Will Schick earlier, who are both having very good days. So how's it going from your perspective?
It's going well. We do have, at this point here, going into round 3, 4 undefeated players. Michael Plummer and Will Schick, who you mentioned. Also, Oren Ashkenazi, one of the Scorn players who made one of those bold moves in round 1. He wound up defeating Will Hungerford. We like to do some special neat awards for staff events, and so that's going to earn him the Will Billa Killa Award.
Wow, that's a prestigious moment for him.
I'm sure it is.
We'll treasure it always.
We had fun with that, and even the people just kind of watching the game on the sidelines, because they were one of the last folks done, they really enjoyed seeing that victory there as Oren pulled out all the stops and used his scorn to defeat his opponent.
That's great.
And last but not least, we have Chris Chops Lester. He's been fielding Mercenaries today, and he is our other undefeated player, heading into the second to the last round here with a Mercenary army.
Excellent. So any projections, anything you want to talk about now, anything you'd like to see happen?
Well, I think that Will Schick's going to have the Mountain King try and eat as many dwarfs as humanly possible, or trollily possible, and we'll see how that goes. And then in Michael and Oren's game, who knows? Those Scorn have been crazy all day, so we'll have to see how they fare against Michael's Retribution.
So how's Steamroller going in general for the 2013 beta?
Well, we're doing a lot of the different scenarios and different types of scenarios, trying out the objective rules, the flags, the zones. We have the new version of Killbox up and running. That's going well, as well as the concept of dominating a flag or a zone. In Steamroller 2012, you could control zones or flags, but now if you do so with your Warcaster or Warlock, you dominate that zone for extra points. So all that's going really smoothly, and people seem to really be taking to these new Steamroller 2013 scenarios.
That's great to hear. All right, well, thanks, DC, and we'll be back at the end of round 3 for another recap, and between now and then we'll have several interviews with players as they finish their round 3 games. We'll see you then. Round 3 of the Staff Steamrollers 2013 beta is starting to wrap up. We're here back with Michael Plummer, who will be moving into round 4 undefeated, making him one of our final players in the final round of the game. How are you feeling about that, Michael? How was your last round?
My last round was really good. I took a Adeptus Ron Charge of the Battle Mages Tier 1 force with a couple units of Battle Mages and a unit of Halberdiers, and I was able to suppress Xerxes' forces long enough to win by control points. I took 5 and took the win.
That's great. What was the scenario?
I don't remember the name of it.
Okay, it's one of the new ones then?
Yeah, it's one of the new ones. It was pretty fun. It was really good.
Right on. What was it like? Can you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, there's a flag and objective on one side and then on the other as well. And if you dominate the objective, you get a point. If you dominate the flag, you get 2 points because it's further up. And if you control the flag, you get 1. So turn 1, I moved towards the objective, and he moved Xerxes towards the center of the table, so right then I decided it was time to go for a scenario win. The next turn I moved up to the objective, and his next turn he tried to move forward, but I already had my troops holding up all of his Satradi and Arquari, and I was able to score a point there. The next turn I telekinesis, and I walked up to the flag, held him off for another turn, got 2 more points. He actually broke through my line and got a single model forward, but with a feat and a force hammer, I was able to push the model out and win the game.
Right on. So the match to determine who you'll be playing is still in play right now. Yeah. That's between Will Schick and his Trollbloods and Chris and his mercenaries. Who is your dream matchup there if you had to pick one?
You know, I really don't like fighting trolls.
Yeah.
I find that people make a lot of tough rolls against me, and I've actually seen that Mountain King doing a lot of damage today, and I don't have anything to deal with the Colossal, so I'm really hoping I fight the mercenaries today.
Alright, well, good luck to you, and we're going to come talk to you at the end of round 4, either in victory or defeat. So good luck, Michael, and we will be back with you soon.
Thanks.
Stay tuned, everybody. We're going to be moving with more round 3 interviews, and then moving into round 4, which will determine the winner of the day. Thanks. And round 3 is over at the Privateer Press Staff Steamroller 2013 Beta. I'm here with Chris Chops Lester, who is one of our finalists moving into round 4. Chris, what do you do at Privateer?
I'm a resin caster.
Right on. So you were victorious over Will Schick in round 3. How's that feel?
Feels pretty good. I didn't really see that happening. I honestly didn't, but Forge Guard won somehow.
Right on. So what were you playing? Who's your caster?
Gordon Gunback.
Right on. Anything stand out to you in the match? How'd you win?
Lots of Forge Guard.
Yeah.
Just over and over. Enough hammers to take down anything.
Absolutely. Was it a scenario win, or was it assassination?
It could have been assassination. It came down just as Warlock only, but I won by scenario.
Sure. So what was the any big moments that stood out for you in it?
There were some big moments when my feat failed to assassinate his caster, and he got stuck behind scenario terrain, and I couldn't pull him in for a kill.
Gotcha. So moving into round 4, it's going to be you versus Michael Plummer for first place. Michael's playing Retribution of Syra this match, and you have any expectations, any concerns, anything you want to talk about your plans?
I'm a bit
You won't see this.
Good, no. I'm a bit hesitant. I've played only one list so far, so I'm forced to play my second list.
Okay.
So he knows what I'm bringing into this match. I don't know what he's going to play.
Mm-hmm. So a little bit of a big element of question there for you.
Mm-hmm. So either way, I'll hope what I can do best, but he knows all my tricks at this point now with that list.
Sure. All right, well, Chris, good luck, and we will talk to you soon. So we'll see you all back for round 4. And coming up soon, we're going to talk to DC for an evaluation of round 3 and his thoughts moving into the final round of the day. And we're back at the end of round 3 of the Privateer Press Staff Steamroller 2013 Beta. I'm here again with David DC Carl, Development Manager and Tournament Organizer for the day. DC, how was round 3? How are you feeling about round 4?
Well, round 3 was great. We had a lot of very intense games. We certainly had quite a dichotomy among the players who really decided to go for the scenario, and we're kind of trying to do things strategically, kind of the scalpel method, and plenty of other players who went more the sledgehammer method and just tried to bowl through their opponent's army, kill the caster, dwindle their forces. One of the games where that was most pronounced, perhaps, was the game between Will Schick and Chris Lester, the Trolls against the Dwarves, and that was quite a match to watch. They really were tearing into each other. I think over the course of the game, Will's Mountain King probably took about 90 damage or something because it just kept getting hit and hit and hit. But whelp after whelp went down the gullet, and he heals him back up for more damage to the Dwarven army. And they were both really feeling the pressure by the end, had their forces down to nothing. The round timer had almost run out as well. Not that they knew that at the time, but they were really at a nail-biter moment when Chris pulled out the victory. There were also a great game between Diane and Cody. Michael's match was pretty notable as well in terms of how he was able to pull off the victory.
Sure.
Johan did some great tricks with his scorn, always looking for weird and funky angles. So there was a lot going on, and I'm pretty excited about round 4. We're now going to do the outflank scenario. It's one that I like a lot because you've got a really clear way to fight for the scenario victory. Or again, you still have that option of really bowling into the opposing army and trying to smash them to dust.
Sure.
So I'll be interested to see how that works out, both at the finals table and just in general in this last round.
There's going to be some interesting matches too, because I think we've got a lot of just great players. We just judged the best painted tournament for the tournament, so we're going to announce that later. Hopefully we'll get some cool pictures up on the forums of the winner. And we'll be back at the end of round 4 with interviews with first, second, and third place winners, as well as DC to talk about the tournament as a whole. So stay tuned. It's going to be an exciting round 4. So at the end of the final round of the staff steamroller, we're here with Will Schick, who took second place overall. And how was the day for you?
Oh, it was a very intense and a lot of fun. All the matches were really tight. It was a blast to bring in trolls, bring in the Mountain King, and just have a lot of fun and watch that big guy just wreck some devastation on dwarves. That was sweet. I may have lost the third game against Chops, but it was great. Like, the Mountain King loves Forge Guard. I think I killed over 2 units with just that guy alone. It was great.
It was gruesome.
So, a lot of fun. Got to play both lists. I was really happy with how they turned out. They did what I wanted them to do. And it's always a good time to come in and just get to play against staff on the weekends.
What was your impression of Steamroller 2013?
It's a lot of fun. The changes that have happened since the alpha, now in the beta, have really streamlined a lot of things. I think it's a very accessible format. But it has its levels of complexity. So if you've got a group that's been playing for a long time, there's definitely formats that fit that.
Right.
If you've got like the new crew coming in and you want to keep the complexity down, you can do that too. So. Overall, I'm really happy. I think this is probably the best year of Steamroller that we've ever had.
It's great to hear. All right, well, congratulations on your second place.
Thank you much, sir.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Privateer Press Staff Steamroller 2013 beta is over. The finalists here were Michael Plummer and Chris Chops. They went at it in the final game. Michael Plummer emerged victorious in first place for the overall tournament. Chris took third overall, and we're going to talk to them both a little bit about their final game and their experiences in the day. So let's start with you, Chops. How was the game for you?
I really enjoyed it. It went down to the last moment, and it really drug on. I had a lot of fun.
Right on. Anything stand out for you? Where did it all go wrong, if you don't mind me asking?
I didn't play the scenario as well as I should have, but even if that hadn't have happened, it would have still been a gritty fight down to the last man.
And who was your caster again?
I was running Damiano this time.
Right on. How would that matchup work out for you?
How did it work out for me? Well, I had a lot of high defense and a lot of stealth units, which Retribution has a problem with anyway.
Sure.
So he had to play a lot more aggressively to get rid of those stealth units, and it worked out for him.
Cool. All right, so Michael, congratulations. You've won your first staff steamroller.
Thanks very much, Simon.
Less than a month after you've been at the company, so I'm sure somebody here is bitter and angry.
Probably.
But no, I think everybody had a great time playing. How was it for you?
I had a really great time today. The last match was a real knockdown, drag-out brawl, which was awesome. I decided to take my Adeptus Ron list. I had the option, and I knew that he was going to be playing Chaosy because he played his Rulix all day.
Sure.
So I went with Chain Blasts and hoped for the best, and I lucked out, and it worked out for me.
So did you win scenario or assassination?
I won a scenario win. 3 of my games today. It was great.
Sure. And what was the last scenario again in this final match?
Outflank, outfight, outlast.
Right on. So I think that worked out for you guys?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
On. So while I'm still with you, how did you feel about Steamroller 2013 now that you played the beta?
I really enjoyed it. I think that scenario wins are something you really have to watch out for and something you can really take advantage of if you're playing those control casters that do well at it.
Absolutely. How about you?
Yeah, same here. I've learned to really enjoy Gordon a lot more, especially in scenarios.
Sure.
He always pulls right for somebody.
Right on. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. Congratulations on your first place win. Congratulations on third place. Thanks for playing, and we'll see you guys back at the office on Monday. We'll be back with a final wrap-up of the entire tournament with tournament organizer and development manager David D.C. Carl. Once more, I'm Simon Berman, one of the staff writers and community coordinator at Privateer Press, and we have completed our Steamroller 2013 beta staff tournament. I'm here one last time with development manager DC, and how was the tournament for you today? It was pretty exciting to watch.
There were a lot of great games. I really enjoyed being a part of it. I also really enjoyed the fact that we didn't have any major rules issues come up or any problems with people understanding the scenarios or how the game is played. Really a smooth event from a tournament organizer standpoint, and that always makes things feel a lot better when you're on the side of not really getting to play the game, but just kind of running things. Having it run smoothly is a real joy. So
yeah, no, it makes sense.
It's been a good day. We had a lot of really close games, had a lot of players come up with some surprises and some, whether it be an upset or just some neat moves they pulled off over the course of a game. Even a newer player who did really well, even though he's only played a couple of games so far. He wanted to try out the tournament scene, and he wound up winning as often as he lost in a Steamroller tournament. So that was great.
Josh Manderville, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he seemed to have a good time, so did his opponents. We had a lot of great sportsmanship throughout the day, people just really having fun. The guy who won our sportsmanship event was Johan Sia from Packing. Every single one of his opponents nominated him as the person who should get the best sportsmanship award, so that was neat to see.
And we had a painting award too, didn't we?
We did. Stu Spengler was the one who won the painting award. He is the hobby manager, so he knows a thing or two about the hobby.
Perhaps unsurprising.
Not as surprising, no.
He had that gorgeous sort of olive drab Khador army, didn't he?
Yeah, there were all kinds of details and embellishments that he added into that army that really made it pop on the tabletop. And I always enjoy Stu's work, but that Khador army is definitely top notch.
Yeah, we'll try and get some pictures of that up on our forums in the next day or two, if not tonight. So yeah, just kind of some final thoughts on Steamroller 2013. I was talking to Will Schick before. One of the things he mentioned was that it seems to be very accessible to players this time around, and that it seems like you can sort of pick and choose the kinds of scenarios you want depending on the kind of play that your group is into, which gives me sort of, it almost has like a toolbox approach this time. Would you say that's kind of accurate?
Absolutely. One of the things that we've done in Steamroller for a few years is we have the Steamroller Appendix, and that lets tournament organizers mix and match all kinds of things to better fit their community. If your community prefers shorter games, longer games, different types of scoring, painted events instead of you can paint but don't have to, anything you want to change up, there's options for how to do that and how to make it still a really strong event that fits within the Privateer Steamroller way of doing an event and allows you to have the Steamroller prizes, those neat coins that we give out for first, second, and third. So it's definitely toolboxy, but I do think that the kind of starting level of Steamroller has been made more accessible. I think there's a lot of scenarios in the packet where people can choose those scenarios as the tournament organizer for even some pretty new players. We definitely had some new players who really picked up on it quickly and did well, and I think that's good evidence of how this format is made and what it's intended to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So just as we wrap up, any last things you'd like to share about Steamroller 2013 or today's tournament? Or moving into next year?
Well, I think that we've got a lot of folks excited about the possibility of a future event.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be doing
people
more of
who
these.
want to get some payback or maybe try a new faction.
And of course, we have to make Michael Plummer run the next one.
That sounds good to me. Sounds like a plan.
All right. So thanks everybody for watching. We hope you had a good time watching the Staff Steamroller 2013 beta tournament. This is our last tournament of the year, but probably not the last thing you see from Privateer staffers playing our games. So we have big things in plan for 2013. Steamroller is just one of many of those, and we hope to see all of you guys out there playing War Machine and Hordes with us. Thanks again.